What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video on the YouTube channel for Murphy Photography and Film. I'm Quentin, and today we are going to be talking about how to liquify. So liquify is a feature in Photoshop that can help you to store or warp your image in the way that you see fit. In this case, I have 3 images that's already loaded into Photoshop, and we're going to walk through each of those processes. So the first image I got right here is of Abby. This is actually in Hawaii, and one way that you can actually change this photo to make it a little bit more unique to herself. So one thing I noticed is you have this simple shape right here that's just like an oval right here, okay? I might want to like bring this in a little bit, or maybe I want to like tuck right here or right here to show, just to make it a little bit less boxy. So in order to do this for Liquify, you would go up to Filter, you would hit Liquify. It brings you up to this page now. So you have your paintbrush right here. Up here in the corner, you have size, you have density, rate, pressure. I usually, honestly, I keep this all the same, just default, because I like to make very minor changes that only I can see or notice. But if you see the before and after, you will see the difference between. What's a really helpful feature is actually right down here at the bottom, you have a preview button. So if you click that on and off, you're actually going to see what it looks like before you actually click OK and distort the whole image. So what we want to do is we want to bring this part of her dress right here, we want to tuck that in. And you can actually do the opposite too, and you can tuck it out. But what we'll do is, up here in the corner you have forward warp. That's going to be your basic warp. And then you have reconstruct tool, and then you have a smooth tool. So what I want to do is I want to bring this in just a little bit. So I'm just going to click and start dragging just a little bit. I don't want to hit her hand too much because I think it might, distort it. So now you're seeing like the whole image start changing, right? So now it adds this little bit of a curvature here. So now this is before, this is the after. It kind of already makes her less boxy and good to go. Now, for instance, if we want to make her like her hair right here, so what we want to do, if we want to make this part of her hair a little bit more vibrant and add a little bit volume to it, what we're going to do, we're going to make the brush size a little bit smaller, like this, and about something like that right there. Oh, that's actually too small. Let me just bring that up. And what we're going to do is we're just going to drag. We're just going to drag in the more of the natural formations here. Follow her hair. You don't want to go crazy with it. Remember, what you can do with this is you can add just a little bit of volume. Stretch that hair out a little bit, like so. Or if you go down here, we can start working on a detail shot. So you have like this little part right here might be like a point A here, point B here, and you want to like add a little bit of a curve. So you can do the same thing. So what you don't want to do is you want to grab 2 pieces. So you have a piece here, you have a piece here. You want to grab right here and slightly start pulling in. And just start adding a slight curve. Now what you'll find is that is going to make the dress itself a little bit less boxy. And overall, it's going to be a little bit better of a picture. So what's really good, so I shot this on an 85mm 1.4, and the bokeh effect with the aperture right here does a really great job. So if you do liquify anything, you don't lose the detail coming out of the picture here. So let me just zoom out. So this is the shot that I have. Now I see I want to bring that in just a little bit like that. This is a preview. So we added a little bit more of her hair, and we tucked this in, and I'm liking this a lot more. This actually looks, when she's grabbing right here, looks a little bit more natural for me in that step than it does right there. So I like that a lot, and we just kind of tucked it in, gave her a little bit more of a shape walking right there, because she is leading with this foot right here, so you want this to be a little bit more sharper. And overall, I think that's pretty good. So this is what you would do for like this one. Now let's move on to the other image real quick. So when you hit OK, it does apply those changes straight onto it, and now you have work. Now these have been edited already through Lightroom, so I'm not going to change the colors or anything like that. I think this is pretty good. If we look at, see how sharp everything is, I think it's good. So the next one I have is right here. So what I want to do, this part of her hair is actually bothering me a little bit. I want to tuck it in a little bit more so it kind of fills this line right here, and everything just like flows a little bit more. So you'll go to filter, you have it up here. Now we want to bring the brush size. I can't figure out why I can't say that. And then what you want to do is you just want to bring that in, and so by doing that, you're making it a little bit more softer. And this is before, this is after. So this is already makes it look like her hair is like leading a little bit more like that. So this size okay, but we could probably make it just a little bit more symmetrical and just bring it in like that. Don't want to touch her face any, because it will distort her. Everything else looks pretty good about that. That was the only problem right there that I saw. Now that looks like it's laying really much better. So this is the before, and then this is the after. That one's good. Hit OK, and that looks really clean. Okay, so the next one is what you saw on the thumbnail. So this is actually my sister-in-law, and she helps me a lot with like just posing for different portraits and find new locations and everything. And she loved this set with this golden. Now this has already been edited and everything. So what we kind of talked about is that we wanted to make her a little bit more curvy right here and a little bit right here, but not so much that it is very noticeable. Just enough that makes it less boxy, because she is wearing a bodysuit right now. So you have a line here and you have a line here, but it's not very curvature right here. So what we're going to do is, of course, go to Liquify. Oh, we're going to cancel that actually. That's we're going to go to Liquify. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this in just a little bit. Ooh, that was actually too much. So you can actually tell what is going to be too much and what is just right. So we are wanting to get a little bit closer here, and we're just going to pull that in like that. Okay, and then I'm probably going to push her arm up just a little bit like that and stuff. Not so much. Now, working with different models, they have different ideas of what their body wants to look like and so forth, but she's really good and very open about what we can make better and stuff in the picture. So basically what you want to do is you don't want to be rude to your model and just assume that they want that work to be done on a photo. You definitely want to ask them their permission before. Since I know her and stuff, she's always open about it. She says, whatever I want to do, I'm okay with and stuff. So I think that looks good already. This little spot right here has already brought a little bit of a curvature in it. So we see the before, and then that's the after. So even this little hip dip right here that she had, we brought that in, and everything is good. Now, we could have had her probably pose a little bit different to make it work, but in the meantime, that will work just fine. So, yeah, that is pretty much how to liquify. It's a very simple little tool that you can use, but it will make your photos a little bit more impactful. So you can use this in water, you can use this in with hair, you can use it with different body parts and things like that. Just don't go crazy with it, because if you do go crazy with it, you will have a hard time restoring that image back to its normal spot. So what you want to do is take a little bit, chisel away each time, and I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe for more videos here on Murphy Photography and Film YouTube channel. We'll see you in the next one.